Hi guys, so this is a video to walk you guys through your third essay assignment. So this whole essay is centered around the movement of Romanticism. So you guys have read foundational texts, you've read about the Enlightenment, and now you're really moving into the movement which kind of establishes an American genre. So the American Romantic movement is very different than the English Romantic movement, as you've read. And this is a very distinct movement with a lot of unique features that are specifically American literature. So what you're going to do in this one is you guys have read a lot of very interesting characters in these texts. So you are going to choose one or two characters to discuss. You can decide whether you want to do this as a singular focus or a comparative sort of focus between two characters. They can be from the same text, they can be from different texts. So what you're going to do is really draw on your understanding of what Romanticism is and make sure you understand how these characters are or are not fitting with the ideals of Romanticism. And you're going to show me how those characters do or do not fit with the ideas of Romanticism. And then you're really going to be using lots of good literary terminology here that has to do with character and character development. So things like flat, dynamic, round, all of these different sort of character terms will be really important in this discussion. So you are going to look also at how the ideas of characterization fit with these other literary elements. So I don't want you to forget everything else, like the plot, theme, motif, symbols, metaphors, all these different things. They're really important. It's just the focus should be in this one on the characters, but you still want to pull in some of those other ideas. So as you know, for Romanticism, something like the setting is very, very important. The natural setting is extremely important. So you want to tie that to the characters. Again, use, as always, lots of good, solid evidence from the text to illustrate your ideas, meaning quotes from the text to help support your claims. So you're going to focus on one or two characters from the works you read and examine them in detail. So what you say about them is up to you. Use the videos, use the links, use everything you've seen and read to help guide you if you're not sure where to go. You're really going to show how they do or do not fit with particular romantic ideals and elements through that character. So draw on the text, use good specific literary terminology in your analysis as well. So for this one, you do have to have two scholarly sources to support your claims. These are all very famous texts. There will be plenty of scholarly sources available on the TCC database. You must use these sources. Do not use something like PBS. I mean, you are more than welcome to pull in biography.com or PBS or any of those, but you have to pull in two scholarly sources from the database as well. As always, use that in the same way you do any other evidence. Use quotes from it to support your ideas. And it's also a really good place to start if you are unsure of where to go in your essay. You can start by looking at the scholarly source, see the ideas and arguments they make, and then you can pull from the ideas that they're putting forth. I'm not saying copy. I'm saying pull from their ideas, get inspiration from their ideas, and then create your own argument using their argumentation as support for your ideas. So your essay is due on Sunday, November 12th at midnight. It is 3 to 4 pages as usual, 3 pages down to the bottom minimum. Standard MLA. Make sure you have your headings right, make sure you have your title, make sure you have your page numbers, all that good stuff. Also, as always, remember to check through Save Assigned for Plagiarism. You guys can choose from the characters in any of the following works. So you can choose from Last of the Mohicans, you can choose from Longfellow's poems, you can choose from Poe's works, you can choose from Hawthorne or Melville. So again, the characters you choose are your decision. You can compare two characters from two different works if you like. You can compare two characters from one work, or you can you could really just dive into one singular character. So the choice is up to you. If you want to get creative, go for it. If you feel like you really want to focus on one character because that's where the meat of the argument could be, do that as well. So just to give you an idea, you could do something like Fortunato and Usher. You could do something like Hester and Pearl. You could do something like Captain Ahab and I'm not entirely sure. You could do maybe you'd have to get creative on that one. Captain Ahab and someone like from Last Mohicans could be Chingachgook. Compare sort of their native experiences. There's lots of different ways you could go in this. It's really up to you. So you're going to be graded on, as usual, a fully developed argument structure that this time is focused really on the close character analysis and the relation to Romanticism. So make sure you're really showing me that you understand what Romanticism is, B, how the characters do or do not fit with the ideas of Romanticism. So for example, a good one a lot of people do is writing about Hester and Pearl, and how Hester is representative of non-romantic ideals. She's representative of Puritan ideals, whereas Pearl is very much a romantic character, and you see that through a lot of different elements in the text. You could do something like, I'm sorry, it just popped in my head, Song of Hiawatha and Chingachgook in Last of the Mohicans. That would be a really interesting comparison as well. So use a proper number of outside resources, that's 2 scholarly sources, as well as your fully explored text, good solid textual evidence to support your claims from both the primary and the secondary sources, good use of Mla formatting and style. You will need to have a bibliography that has at least 3 things on it. 2 scholarly sources and at least 1 work. If you choose to do 2 works, you're going to want to make sure you have that as well. Make sure that your depth of analysis is strong with good scholarly language and good terminology related to A, Romanticism, and B, characterization. And then a good, clean, full essay structure with an intro, thesis, body, and conclusion. If you have any questions about this, let me know. It's fairly wide open, once again, just to allow you guys some creativity, some room to really write about what you find interesting, which text you find interesting, and it should be a really good exploration of character. So if you have questions, let me know. But otherwise, good luck.